I left my family. I left my kids.
Earlier you said bribing guards. What was, I mean, how did it, like, kind of step by step go when you're
Well, you
bribing
do
a
the
guard?
same thing. He liked sports and magazines. So when I was getting magazines, I had mailed in the magazines I know he liked. And when he wasn't in his office and the door was open, I just leave him on his desk. And then he'd ask me, I'd rip my name off and the address so they couldn't say where it came from if they got the magazine. And, we'd leave a dish that we made, a pasta dish, and we'd leave it on his desk. And he'd ask me, is that yours? Because they knew it was mine because it came in the mail and he works there. And I'm like, nah. And he goes, I know it's yours. It ain't mine. And then I kept doing it. And then I got friendlier with him, and then we're trying to move him, talk to him a little, joke with him a little. I mean, we really did like the guy. He was a nice guy. He wasn't like an asshole, nothing. There was a couple of good guys like that. And, and we're not asking him to do anything serious, and that's my cell. Listen, I'm leaving jail now. My friend's there. I'm not asking you to bring drugs. I'm asking you to bring food. It's the big deal. And then I asked him to bring sperm kits.
Right, I remember.
So he can get, yes. And that was a big case, and it was all over the news. They made a big deal about this.
I remember I read that article.
And they said, I'm helping all the made guys, and blah, 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 whatever nonsense.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that or no?
I mean, it's news where, it was, I think it was in a big magazine. It was on TV. It was on Fox News.
You can look it up.
George Anastasia, you got to look up 1994, I believe they did a TV series, not a series, but a 15-minute segment. This is before George knew me personally, and George Anastasia, the writer of my book, Gotti's Rules. And he did a show on mob stories that he does out of Philly with his partner, Dave. And they did a thing on this about how I was bribing, guards, and how we were getting friends' wives pregnant with insemination. And I was going, when I came out of jail, going to the city, to the doctors, to the clinics, and we were freezing it. And then the woman would go there and try to get pregnant.
Well, hold on. Now explain the process, though. Like, or where, first, like, the birth of that idea, for lack of a better word, the birth of that idea.
You don't know about pregnancy? They never taught you when you were...
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying, where first, like, who's coming to you with this idea of, like, oh, let's do this, and then from that point on, then how do you go from, A, B, C to D?
So what happened was there was an inmate, serious gangster. He did a lot of years. Did almost 30 years in prisons. No doubt, tough guy, gangster. What he did was, in another jail, he somehow got his wife pregnant. And when he transferred to our jail, he told us how he did it. Now, when he had a visit, he's been in jail for years, his wife came up with a baby. What he should have said was, before he left the jail, he already had the sperm already saved in a sperm bank. He didn't say that. Or he should have said they adopted the baby or something. Well, he couldn't have said that because his wife was coming up pregnant, so that wouldn't have worked. But he should have said that he had it already saved before he left jail because he knew he had a case. He never did that. So when he brought it to us, I said, oh, that's a good idea. And I started talking to my good friend, and he got, a 15-year sentence about. And I was very close with him. I was close with his father. Both of them were in jail. And he asked me, would I help him when I go home? So his wife, because the time he got home out of his sentence, his wife was going to be older and maybe she wouldn't be able to have a baby. So this isn't something bad. I mean, when people say, it's funny now that we talk about it, and, a woman wants to have a child. The husband's not able because she loves her husband. They know they're going to have a future together. And they said, will you help us? How would I say no to that, right? So I said, yeah, all right, no problem. I said, what do you need me to do? So what I did was I went to a fertility clinic, and they give you these kits. So I would meet the guard, and I'd bring them food and, whatever else, bottle of wine, lobster.
How do you ask to go to the fertility clinic?
Well, I don't go. Somebody in the family went. They set it up with the doctor, and they just say, one of our relatives is going to drop off. I don't know what they told them. If the husband was in jail, I'm not sure. Now, they probably never said that. They probably just said, whatever reason, the husband's not coming here or whatever. So this is like, everybody watches the movies and say, does this really happen? Of course it happened. We did it. I guess, you watch the movie.
There's an article about, if you guys are listening right now or watching, there's an article, if you search it up, that they can find in it. Talks about this.
Oh, yeah. It's all over there. I mean, there's videos out, there's news shows on it, there's magazines, there was newspaper articles. They drove me crazy.
I mean, it's a crazy story. Wait, so finish. So then they tell the fertility clinic, the family tells the fertility clinic that
it's
going to be dropped off.
Right. So when I bring up the lobster and wine and food in a bag, I meet the guy on his lunch break. He meets me across the street. It's a lizard park, actually,
the
like
guard.
a zoo, the guard. And I come with a custom van. I see him go in. I drop the bag off to him.
What do you mean you come in with a custom van?
I got a customized van, so that, with the curtains, everything, so I can see when he comes in. I'm just hanging out. I bring my kids up.
Okay,
I go to it's a zoo. It's a lizard zoo. So I make a little thing with my kids, so it's kind of cool for them. And then whatever, it's a 3-hour drive up there, and I meet them and I give them the bag. Now the reason why I bring the custom van is because it has TV and couches and everything. After I give him the bag at lunchtime, he brings it in. I give him his money, and I give him a kit. He gives it to the inmate. The inmate fills up the kit.
So this is right when you had gotten out.
Yeah, I just got out.
Okay.
Now he fills up the kit, and then at the end of the day, the guard brings back the kit to me, filled up. I put it on ice because it's got to be on ice.
Oh, really?
So I get it on ice, and then I drive it to the clinic, straight to the clinic in the city.
Gotcha.
And they put it, they save it so it can be inseminated. And, they keep trying till, it's successful.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what I was confused about. So it was basically you, once you got out, wanting to help, I guess, a former friend or inmate, help his
Well,
his
he's
wife
my
get-
friend for years. I'm
Okay.
friends with the family. I mean, his son's,
Right.
is like.
So you wanted to help, and then you basically, I guess the part that's like the bribe is when is with the prison guard.
Well, the movies I was going to say before is like, they talk about Goodfellas and look how they're eating, and everyone on Henry Hill, everybody's shaving garlic. I mean, we really do all that. We're shaving garlic. And Goodfellas, everybody knows Frankie Burke, the Burke family, very close with me. And so to them, it's movies. To us, this is the reality of our life, and everything we do is a move.